right?
I think this is the largest overall map, though, possibly. Hollywood is more of a direct line. There's just a ton of room on the right and left of both of these capture points, or both of the objectives. I'll say capture point A has many areas that you can come from, but essentially that road and the building on the right are kind of your primaries, while you'll see Genjis, tracers, etc. try to loop around from the right side, sometimes up in the air. You can't actually get up onto this top right ledge in any way from stairs, so there's a lot of characters who actually can't even get up that high. It's kind of interesting. Alright, so it looks like defense is actually going to play the point. This is something I would wish that everyone I played public games with would realize.
Yeah, right?
That if you just play the point, you actually have full control and they're walking into a nest of guns, whereas if you move forward, you're just getting owned one at a time. But Melty already here, I apologize, my overlay needs to be switched up again, but Melty already capping point A, while Kit Kats and Mingachu are up in the skies trying to rain some justice down upon them one rocket at a time. Looks like Soldier is taken out there, JKW getting knocked back by a D-gun and killed. And it looks like the capture is ticking. They need to force Mingachu and Papa Smurf now off of the point to continue capping.
And D-gun's going for a kill on the Mercy, able to collect it. Next up is the Pharah. Pharah does go down too, so complete control now for Melty. Of course, there are still a couple from Prime alive, but they're in no position to push into 4 folks right on the objective. So this will be the first point collected relatively quickly here. Again, typically not a huge surprise to see this first point on actually any of these payload maps with a capture point to begin with. Typically the first capture tends to go quick. So Melty still got to be feeling pretty good about that. It was well executed. Fairly dominant. Yeah, D-gun poking his head out, getting dealt a whole lot of damage quickly, but of course the Mercy's right on his heels, so able to be healed up very quickly. We actually have a Zenyatta on Prime's defending team here.
Yeah, I'm curious who that Harmony Orb is going to go to. I guess Mingachu is going to be the primary target. I'm going to go ahead and take his view. He has Barrage available. High Noon from Nico does take him out, actually. So Nico pushing forward here with part of this ground force. He does find the enemy McCree and Flash and Fans Blam out of existence. Now he's taking some free shots on Zarya. Zarya drops her ult in a bit of a panic, it looks like, while McCree is still moving around. Oh, I see what happened. There were 2 Zaryas. I got confused. That was actually the friendly Zarya that he was following into that. And Melty is going to continue moving forward, pushing with 2 at a time. They reach that checkpoint very quickly. And once again, the rules for this week's tournament state that only objectives matter unless you complete the entire map, then your time matters. So right now, they've gotten every objective except for the final one. That's great progress so far. Flash and Fan on Zenyatta. That was actually crazy. Nico just assassinated that Zen.
I liked the play because it was also with the active speed boost by Lucio. So it was just like a full flank, but a nice Earth Shatter goes down, slows down the attacking team quite a bit, but only 1 kill is collected, and the defensive Reinhardt is taken down, although he is revived very quickly by the Mercy. But wait, why didn't he get revived there? Maybe he already spawned. I'm not quite sure. I thought that the Mercy was close enough, but this is looking terrible. This is looking awful. This could be such a quick game. I mean, this time that they are looking to set right now is kind of ridiculous.
I just watched D-gun ult into the tree. I don't think he realized that the tree is not fully... you can't shoot through it completely. The branches actually will deflect damage back at you. He ate 100 of his own damage from that ult.
Alright, so a little bit of a flubbed ult actually allows Prime to come back into this. But still, they push that payload so far, so fast, that it's going to be really tough to stop a team like Melty from pushing this just a little bit further and setting an amazing time here.
Alright, I'm watching the defensive Soldier right now, staying very far back from his team. It makes me wonder why they wouldn't just use a Widowmaker in that position if he's going to be so far back, because Soldier now has damage fall off at long range. Here we go, though. High Noon coming in from Nico. Soldier not able to take him out in time. And Nico got 2 kills there on Soldier and Mercy with the Deadeye ult.
Never had
And what can Mangachu do by himself? Absolutely nothing. He has stalled maybe long enough for a D.Va to come in, but doesn't look like it.
Yep.
And insane time set there by Melty. And I cannot see Prime beating this time. Yeah, it's going to be tough. And that Reinhardt skin is probably the sickest skin. Holy hell.
I opened the Blackheart skin myself.
Fire at will.
Yep, there we go. I actually spectated though, and that was good stuff from Nico once again. So the time to beat is 4:27.
You don't see times that quick set very often. It's a rarity.
Alright guys, we're going to be flipping sides. I'll adjust my overlay appropriately. I forgot I actually have two versions of the overlay where I can just switch red and blue instead of switching their names and scores every time. I'm dumb.
Yeah, I've been doing that. I'm getting better at streaming, guys. Slowly but surely, figuring this out.
Okay, what do you think? Tall order for Prime to try and beat 4 minutes 27 seconds?
Oh yeah, Joshy. Oh yeah. They're going to have to play out of their mind flawless to beat that time. We are talking about Melty here. One of the most experienced teams in the game.
Yeah.
By a long shot.
This team actually formed, I remember reading an interview with them, they formed for the express purpose of playing Overwatch months before beta came out.
Yeah, people kind of, they always called them out as a team that was strategizing, coming up with strategies before the game even came out. They were theory crafting like crazy. That does seem to be one of their strengths, is just great strategic play.
Yeah, and their roster hasn't changed at all. Like, that's something, you know, they definitely are still sticking with it, even after a couple of losses here and there in the various GosuGamers and Too Good Invitational, stuff like that. But, yeah, they're keeping it together, and they want to win. They did not manage to take down the EU Weekly yesterday, but they definitely have a strong chance here in NA today.
Yes, sir. All right, this is the second round, so we're moving closer to the grand finals. Next will be semis. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to jump right into Numbani here, and a similarly defensive posture for Melty this time as well. Like you said, guys, pro tip, don't be too aggressive on defense, man. Just stay back. Make it happen back here. And looking already at the first pick goes to a damage-boosted Pharah. D-Gun is able to pick one up super early here, which basically just gimps this first push, and every single push matters when a time like 4 minutes and what do you say, 23 seconds?
Yep,
like
4:27 was the time to beat.
Gonna be tough.
Yep, they're already under 4 minutes remaining. Alright, watching Blam run in there, Flash and Fan doesn't quite get a kill.
Yeah, Mangachu's gonna have to carry a bit for his team. He's not able to connect right now. Is collapsing, and that's actually good. Winston shield to keep the team alive. Or actually, no, never mind. I was looking at it wrong. But somehow, someway, Prime is managing to survive. And look, it's Blam and Pop Perf now picking up 1 kill apiece, which means they have a big advantage. So, uh-oh. Could it happen? Could it be true? Will it be the case that Prime can put up a fight here?
No, Nico just came in and knocked them flat. Moonel with his aimbot managed to take out Mercy, so no res is going to be happening. Moonel also taking out that Reinhardt while Nico deals with Lucio. So there is actually not even a third of the cap actually taken in the long run.
Yeah, it's looking good for a second there.
But here we go, really, Barrage available actually on Mangachu on the attacking side. He is going to get damage boosted by Kit Kats on Mercy, so he might be able to get a couple of picks here. Every kill counts. I would probably use it on, if I had 2 targets lined up, I would probably use it, but I hear a High Noon coming out. It looks like Blam did take out D-Gun. Another High Noon gets sounded out, but it sounded like McCree got wasted on that one. Barrage still available.
Battle is not over.
Yeah, and still kills are going to the way of the attacking team here. So still a slight chance, a slight hope that they could push forward. It's going to have to be entirely unfettered at this point if they want a chance. And the Monkey Rage is going to keep this going for a little while longer.
Yeah, so they do actually manage to cap the point. Unfortunately, they only have about 2 minutes to complete the rest of the map. They were much slower capping the point, but definitely, you know, props to them for actually making it happen. Good ult coordination, I'll say there, and McCree, being played by Blam, did get a lot of work done in that push.
Yeah, well, if you do take a look at the ultimate situation right now, there are no ultimates for the defending team. I'm sure they will be charging sooner than later.
I actually really like this Reinhardt skin that Papa Smurf is using, the Paragon Reinhardt. He's like golden white. It kind of reminds me of Tyrael from Diablo. Angelic Reinhardt. But here he goes. He does have Earth Shatter. He's actually just hanging out in the back. His whole shield is down. He drops the Earth Shatter under the payload. Doesn't actually catch any defensive targets with it. Unfortunately for the attacking team, they have about, well, 60 seconds, 60, 70 seconds to try and finish the map. So I don't think it's going to be feasibly possible here. Any contention at all is going to slow them down. And there it is, contested by the Zarya shielding herself up, gaining some energy. She doesn't even really care if she dies at this point, just based on time. But there is that sound barrier coming in right at the edge of the checkpoint. Once again, that's such a good place to make a hold. Zarya ults in, and that whole team is wiped by Mangachu's ultimate as well, but there's a huge res from Mercy on the defense, picking everyone right back up, and now the offense has no ults to work with. They are slowly pushing through this underpass, and they are in the final checkpoint.
Yeah, unfortunately, they only have about 30 seconds to get to the final resting place. Is it possible? Could it happen if they are completely unfettered here?
If they 3-push for 30 seconds, I think that they will cap.
Yeah, but
I just think it's impossible.
That's a super tall order. Basically impossible. They do have a revive for the attacking team, though, so they could push very aggressively and just look to get the revive going. Mangachu does come over top. Uh-oh, the Mercy's putting herself in a lot of danger, though. Mercy has to scoot back, and she does do that. And uh-oh, they have 5 seconds to do it.
There's a huge res. They only have a few seconds. Actually, it is now over.
Yes.
Unfortunately for Prime, but that was a sick push. I never expected them to push the payload that fast after the cap A so you know, somewhat slowly compared to the other team. But look at that, actually Melty just regaining control, and that is going to be GG. There comes the callouts, and Melty will take the series 2-0.
There you go. They surely were the favorites, so not a surprise to see that. But I want to give a shout out to Prime. I thought they were the underdog versus their first opponents, and they proved me wrong there.
Looks like they're having some McCree battles as players are slowly leaving the game.
It looks like we're not going to see a play of the game this time. Sorry.
Yeah, actually, it only selectively picks from people who are still in the game anyway, so we wouldn't see the actual play of the game potentially.
Mangachu wants to see it finished.
I just like to see the play of the game and the stats at the end to see what cards are awarded and stuff like that, because we have no other stats available to us as spectators.
Yeah. D-Gun.
Someone asked what place was Melty in the tourney. Yesterday they actually made it to the semifinals, so they got top 4. They did not play a 3rd place match.
Well, they only lost to IDDQD, who ended up winning the whole tournament.
Yep.
It is a huge upset, don't get me wrong, but they could have easily made it to the finals potentially.
There you see the victory post there with only 2 characters. This was the barrage, though, the meaty barrage right outside that checkpoint.
Yeah, this is really what made it a
Oh, it wasn't even a barrage, just... Oh, there it is. Wow, if only res... If they still took damage from res...
Yeah.
That would be disgusting. Good stuff there.
He just had a 12 kill streak.